as I transition to reselling more and more, especially focusing on Whatnot, I have a lot of inventory coming in and out of my house, and it is creating a lot of chaos. I'm going to show you in a second. Add that to the chaos that is our floor getting replaced. They're gone for the weekend, but we have half a floor installed. But at least they left a good transition, and I'm not worried about that. But what I am worried about is this room, and I'm about to show it to you. This is a converted garage, so it's a really big room. We were using it as the kids' playroom, but because I don't have an office in this house, I just have a desk in our bedroom. This is basically where I run my whole reselling business as well. So it's extra messy because the flooring is going in there, so we have extra stuff in here. So try not to judge, but let's take a look at what we're working with. So this is the room. It is supposed to be a playroom. There are toys over there. There's homeschool stuff in that cabinet. And then there's just my reselling stuff. You're just kind of creeping in to the kids' stuff. So I want to organize that today. The kids and my husband are out at a homeschool thing, so I need to utilize my time well and get this done. Here is a better look at my side, which is the side for reselling, and it has just gotten, in the last week, it got really bad because of the flooring and everything that's going on. I just have not had a chance to clean it up and get it organized. There's just no organization whatsoever. I basically have to use bins for everything. This bar is here, which is really cool, but there's no storage at all. It's just a bar. You can see my ring light right here. This is where I run my Whatnot shows. If you've been to my Whatnot shows, this is basically the view you get. You get a little bit of bar, you get a little bit of the rack behind me. But what you don't see is all of this, which is literally piled because I just had a Whatnot show and a lot of stuff was happening. But I do have a new organization to get set up, and I thought I would kind of bring you along in organizing with me because this is embarrassing. Please don't judge me. So I have this rack that I've been using for Whatnot shows, but the problem is I do kids shows and then I also do women's shows. I'll have to take everything off of here and put all kids' clothes on here, and just like I'm spending a lot of time taking stuff down and putting it back up, which is just a waste of time when I'm already strapped for time. So I went to Walmart and got this little, it's like an $18 double rack, and it is really lightweight, and it's probably not going to hold a lot of women's clothes, but I thought it would be perfect for kids' clothes, especially if I put the baby clothes up top and the older kid clothes on the bottom to just kind of weight it at the bottom so it doesn't fall over. So instead of having all of these totes over here all over the ground and just stacked everywhere, I'm going to hopefully just use that rack and this rack and then maybe a couple of totes. And then I also purchased a shelf to go right here that can hold like shipping supplies, and then items that need to be listed on eBay because I don't sell everything on Whatnot. I do have a small amount of items that I do put aside to sell on eBay, so it can hold that kind of stuff, and it can just get a little more organized. So let me just show you what I'm working with as kind of a before. It has gotten out of hand. This was stuff that was supposed to go to consignment, and I had to go through it because someone asked for a specific item during one of my shows, so I just threw everything everywhere and I found that item. These are items that are listed on eBay. I just want to fill that bin up before I put it in the garage, which is where we store all the eBay stuff. Under there are shoes that my husband needs to clean, and then all of these bins are just different categories of stuff that I'm selling on Whatnot. Kids clothes, more kids clothes for the show tonight, more kids clothes. We've got kids items that are not clothes. We got some women's stuff. We just got a lot going on. And then over here is this table that I was kind of using to hold all the kids bins when I was having a show because not everything fit on the rack. And then of course this is the bar. It is bad right now. I promise it's not always this bad. So I have my computer there that I do my shipping from, and then usually this is pretty clear and I can kind of use it as a workspace when I'm listing stuff on eBay. And then of course the rack where I pull stuff off of while I'm selling on Whatnot. And then there's this little gate, and then here's all my shipping supplies all over the floor. These are prizes that I do on Whatnot, and then around the corner, there's just like a tiny bit of space right here. I think that's stuff that needs to be listed on eBay. I honestly don't know. Some empty boxes and miscellaneous stuff, trash can. It is bad. So this is literally the only storage we have is under here. So we're just, oh, and under here. But this is taken up by the printer and a lot of like shipping stuff. So once I have this shelf up, I will be able to handle this better. Hopefully, because most people watching this are also resellers, you understand how quickly it can kind of get out of hand, especially if you don't have a lot of storage space and you have a lot of inventory coming in and going out quickly, like with Whatnot. When I had eBay, I could put stuff into bins and just let it sit there. And then once I was done listing a bin, I would go to the next one, and it was a lot easier. With Whatnot, it's like it comes in, it gets processed, it gets put on the rack. If it doesn't sell, it gets taken off the rack and then put back on the rack for the next sale. As I switch stuff out between women's and kids, and it's just a lot more moving parts, I guess. So it has been a challenge. So I'm going to get organized and I'm gonna bring you along with me. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is build this shelf real quick. It's got like 5 tiers. It's taller than me. It's gonna be amazing, and it's gonna help me clear off the floor in the little bar area, and also a lot of the stuff just like stored on top. So I think it's gonna be really helpful, and it's gonna store basically anything that's not on a clothing rack. And that's my goal, is to have 2 clothing racks and then 1 shelf, and have that be all of my storage, hopefully. Fingers crossed. We'll see how it goes. For the record, my husband did offer to build this, but I was like, no, I can do it myself. And now I kind of wish that I hadn't built it, because it's going to take a lot of time, and I only have like an hour before the kids come home. And I love them, but I just cannot be productive with a 2-year-old grabbing at me while I'm trying to like build a bookshelf or a rack or whatever this is called. So wish me luck. We got the bottom half. Now I need to finish putting this together. It's actually pretty easy. There's just these little grooves, and you just need to pay attention to which one is on, so it's all level. And I made that mistake a couple times where it just kind of like slipped down, so it wasn't even. I built the shelf. It took me like 20 minutes, and I'm totally the type of person to like agonize about the fact that I guess I could have spaced it out more evenly. Like this one is way bigger than this one, but we're not going to freak out about that, because if I start to mess with it, then I will just waste so much time. But this is good. Overall, it was super easy to do. There are 2 little snap pieces that snap together around these grooves, and I kept not doing it like tight enough, I guess, and they would pop down when I would put the shelf on. You probably saw me struggling with that, but by the top I figured that out. Overall, this is a really nice sturdy shelf. I will link to it down below if you're looking for a shelf, because so far this seems like it's gonna be great. So now I just need to clear out the space right here, right there, and put the shelf there. So let's do that. I originally was gonna have it go this way, but I didn't think that would give us enough room to turn this corner. But now I'm thinking maybe it would be okay. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try turning it that way and see if I like that better. I would prefer for it to be against that wall, but if there's not enough room for me to like squeeze my butt through, then it's not gonna be very helpful. It just feels a lot cleaner. I don't like seeing the side of the shelf when I'm looking here, but it does leave a very tiny space. I mean, I can fit, but it's a tight squeeze. But I think it'll be fine. It's just me and my husband going back there, and we'll fit. I think I'm gonna leave it like this. I like that it fits perfectly against this wall. So I think I'm gonna leave it this way, and now let's just fill her up. Okay, so I put the shipping boxes here. It's already so much nicer in this area because there's not stuff all over the floor. But I do have this little bin of like giveaways, and then I don't even know what's under there. So I'm just gonna start placing things over here, and we can always rearrange as needed just to kind of get things situated. This is just a Rubbermaid basket of literally just giveaway stuff. More giveaways. This is just like in a nicer basket because I actually put it on the bar in the background when I'm doing these types of giveaways. So more giveaways up there, and then I just need to figure out, I'm thinking I'm gonna put like unlisted eBay inventory on this shelf. So let's try that. This is literally an unopened box. I don't even know what it is. Oh, you know what it is. I'm in this group where I get Amazon freebies and cheap stuff, and I think this is like like frost protectors for trees. Yeah, so this is just a set of plant cover bags. These are the types of things that I'll probably just sell locally or wait and we'll throw it in a yard sale, but it was just sitting in the box because I didn't have any use for it. I can start to throw trash over there for now and we'll figure that out later. I also have a FreeX printer that I'm no longer using because I switched to a Munbin printer, which I love so much more. So I'm just going to put it back in the box and throw it on the shelf, and we'll probably just sell that locally real quick. It worked fine. I did have some issues once in a while, but overall it was a decent printer. It's just, the other one's just so much nicer. It doesn't have any errors or anything when I'm trying to load it, and I fight with it a lot less than I did with this. So that is ready to be sold locally. Now let's find out what's in this bin. All right, it's pretty light. I really think it's just eBay stuff. Yep, it looks like eBay stuff. So we're gonna unload it onto this shelf so that it is front and center. And I just really don't want a bunch of bins hanging around. My husband brought up a good point when I didn't want to get that second clothing rack. He was like, wouldn't it be better? Because I was like, oh, I'm just gonna take up more of the kids' space. He's like, yeah, but once the shelf comes and you have 2 racks, there's gonna be a lot less bins, and those are in their way more than anything else. So he's totally right. So let's just get all the stuff out of the bin and onto the shelf. I've got these 2 tall pants. They're like an extra tall. They're a size 38 waist and 38 length. So this is also a really good way because I'm definitely like out of sight, out of mind kind of person. And if it's just bins all over the place, I don't know what all of them are just off the top of my head. So I just kind of like let them sit. But if this shelf is full, I know it's time to take photos so that I can get stuff listed on eBay. I'll just share with you what I have sitting around. This is J. Jill, a pair of like linen pants. It's their Love Linen line. I have some Pottery Barn Grinch pajamas. I don't know where the top is. It's in here somewhere. I got some vintage, like Barbie pink vintage pants with like the, what is this called? The foot loop? I don't know what that's called. I don't know. I got those at the bins. They're in really good condition. And with Barbie being more popular lately. These are J. Jill. I buy a lot of J. Jill for eBay. I don't really sell it on Whatnot because it just doesn't sell well. So I just throw it on eBay. I'm wondering if this is going to work well or if everything's going to come tumbling down. And if I need like shallow boxes in there, but we'll see how it goes. All right, I'm not going to list everything to you, but let's just unload. Last thing in here is this pack of like, if you remember these stickers, if you're like an 80s or 90s kid, you probably remember these like sheets of stickers that I thought it would be a fun project to see if I could sell them in lots on eBay, and I just haven't done it yet. But it's gonna sit here and stare at me in the face until I do it. All right, so that's one bin unloaded so far, and I'm loving this already. Now I found another bin of just like miscellaneous stuff that I wanted to sell. I don't know, some of these are like giveaway items for shows. Some stuff is like stuff I'm gonna save for Christmas time or like winter as giveaway items. I do have a bin of stuff that I'm gonna save and list in the fall, so they're ready for fall and winter. So I might add a lot of this stuff to that bin and then see what else is in here. My bin that just says hold for fall, I'm gonna have probably a few of these because as I find good fall and winter items, I don't want to just like let them sit at the bins. So I figure if I pick up the good stuff, then I can put it in a bin and have tons of inventory ready for fall and winter. Here's what I have left in here. This kind of just turned into a catch-all bin of stuff that I just kind of wanted to sell. I have my old camera that I used to use in here. It's a Canon, I don't know, I think it has like a $300 or $400 resale value, and I just have not sold it yet. How do I open this? Yeah, so it's like a super nice camera. I think I spent like $500 on it. It's overkill for what I need, honestly, for YouTube. So I'm gonna sell that. I need to put that on my eBay shelf. And then I have these new tile things, and stuff just ended up being put away and not listed. So we're gonna add these to these shelves so that they can be right in my face and I can remember to list them. I'm gonna move that back because I don't want it to break. All right, now I'm getting hot in a sweatshirt, but the only things that are left are this Bigfoot book that actually had a decent resale value if it's the same edition and everything. I don't know as much about selling books, so I've just been holding off because I need to research. And then I have this homeschool curriculum that I was using for a while and then I gave up on, that I need to, I think, sell in their official Facebook page. So I've just been, it's just the stuff that you buy or that you need to sell that just is going to take a little bit of time or research, and you can't just list it real quick like a lot of the things, like a lot of the clothes here. So I'm going to throw it on the top shelf for now and deal with all this stuff first, because obviously I have a full shelf of stuff to list, and then I even have these little things up here, and that's probably not all of it, to be honest. So let's keep organizing. And this is an example of it gets worse before it gets better. So I'm going to tidy that up. And just like I have 2 empty bins already, which is great. And then I will continue. I'll figure out what to do after that. So this is how I take care of recycling around here. Throw it there and then it magically disappears. Around on Pinterest, because for the kids rack, it would be really helpful if I had size dividers, but I don't really want to order any from Amazon. I'm in frugal, growing a business mode. And I think I'm just gonna make these. These are printables, so I could either print them out on cardstock or just make them myself. I might print them and then have my kids like decorate them. That would be fun for them, but I think I'm gonna use that to keep the sizes organized on my rack. So I think my next plan of action is to get the kids rack up and loaded. I was just gonna put it right here. This is where I take my photos for eBay. Whoop, right there on that hook. So I will have to roll out of the way, but I only do photos like once or twice a week, so that's not that big of a deal. I do have a bunch of clothes on hangers already, because yesterday I thought I had a kids show, so I hung everything up. And then 15 minutes before the show, I realized it wasn't a kids show, it was a women's show, so I had to take them all down and hang up all my women's clothes. It was a little chaotic, but I do have stuff hung up here. So I think that'll make the biggest impact on the floor situation. At least get the kids area a little cleaned up so that they can feel like there's a little more space, and we can also clean out their stuff because we desperately need to declutter their toys. But there are 3 of them, so it is what it is. But I think that's gonna make the biggest impact visually, which will help me a lot. I do need to tackle the counter space, but I'm definitely not ready for that yet. And I wanna do the things that are gonna make the biggest impact and just like feel really satisfying. So let's go ahead and do the kids' clothes rack. Right now, I'm just gonna kind of guess the sizes. I'm not going to try and organize it too much right now. I just want to get this stuff on, and then we'll make the size tags. I like that it has like these long, I don't know if you can see, these long sections so that I can hang like longer dresses and overalls and stuff like that. So as of right now, it's kind of top heavy. Let's see how sturdy. I mean, it seems okay. I was kind of worried about my toddler bringing it down on himself since it's kind of a cheaper rack, but it actually is doing really well. I don't know that I would load it completely full of adult clothing, but kids clothing, I think this is perfect. And it was like 17 something at Walmart, so I will take it. All right, so while I was at Walmart yesterday, I actually got more hangers too. I'm using adult hangers along with the kids stuff just because I didn't have a lot of kids hangers. So I grabbed 60. I think these are about $5 each, 5 something maybe. So I grabbed 60. I'm probably gonna need more, but we're slowly funding the business, and I think this will be fine for now. I'm probably not gonna hang up anything under like 12 months. 18 months and up I'll hang, and maybe 12 months and under I'll keep in bins just because they're so tiny. Unless I feel like I have a ton of space on the rack, and I want to, I guess, but we'll see how it goes. But for now, I'm going to go use these 60 hangers and hang up some more stuff. But my husband is on his way back with the kids, so who knows if I'm gonna be able to finish this today or if it's gonna be like a couple day process. If I didn't mention it, my sister's gonna be here in 3 days with her 2 kids and her husband. So I wanna have this all done and cleaned up by then so that this is not in our way in addition to the flooring being done. So it's gonna be a busy couple of days, just getting organized and then getting the rest of the house ready too. So I unloaded the 60 hangers. So that's 60 hangers right there. So you could easily fit 100 across the top, 100 across the bottom, plus a little bit on the side. So this could easily fit like 200 kids items, which is perfect because that's, I feel like, generally where I am as far as kids merchandise. If I get to the point where I'm selling out all the time, that would be amazing, or if I'm selling a lot of this stuff. But as of right now, I sell probably 20 to 40 pieces per show, so I am left with a lot, and it's nice. It's going to be nice not to have to take everything down off of this other rack and switch everything back and forth. So it's gonna be really nice to just kind of have it already done. So I'm really excited to kind of just have that time savings and have a better way to organize stuff than have it all in all these little bins. All right, so here is the after. It's not quite exactly where I want it yet, but it's really good. So we have all the women's and men's clothing over here. We have all the baby clothes and kid clothes over there. I have kind of overflow down here and up here just for the clearance show I'm doing tonight. I have some stuff going to consignment, so just ignore this pile right here. And then we do have some bins left of like baby clothes around here. This is stuff that like hard goods that I just put in a bin together, and I just fill it up as I list, and then when it's full we add a lid and throw it in the garage. And then this is kind of my workspace. It did get stuff piled on it as I was trying to list today, so I will clear that up at some point. Some of this is baby clothes as well. The desk is much better. It's not perfect because I literally was just listing and I need to film this before it gets too dark, but it's pretty much cleared off. Here are some items that need to be put in storage. Here are some kids, like toys my kids have asked me to sell and whatnot for them, so that's just kind of there for now. And then we have our shelf, which you already saw. We have kind of like overflow items up there, giveaway stuff. And then the rest of this is stuff that needs to be listed. And then we have lots of shipping supplies. And then over here still needs to be cleaned up a little bit. There's just some miscellaneous stuff I need to deal with, but for the most part, it's pretty cleaned up. There's just like shipping supplies and miscellaneous stuff. And then bags that I put some stuff in, some inventory. Overall, much better. I do need to kind of tidy up a little bit, but overall, we're pretty organized here. I just need to finish listing some stuff. And we're good. This is a lot better than it was before. If you remember, there was stuff all this way. So we're kind of contained to this little area here and then that wall, which is what I use for listing anyway. And I think it'll just get better as I figure out what works. Okay, you're gonna have to excuse me because I just literally hopped out of the shower and decided to finish this video up before I would forget, because tomorrow's gonna be a busy day. I'm gonna be at the bins. My sister is gonna be arriving with her family for a week. We have people doing flooring, so it's not going to get done tomorrow. So I just wanted to give this kind of update. I know it's not like a perfectly polished situation, but it is much better, much more organized than it was before. And we're taking up a lot less of the kids' space. I do need to organize their space still. So hopefully you found this entertaining and maybe give you some ideas. Thanks for watching. Bye.